That's just a little sketchy. Don't panic. Welcome to the bear den. Back at it. I just thought that creek bottom was hell. All right, guys, we are on an adventure. We just got dropped off. I got no food, no shelter. I do have my bow along in case I bump into a bear, but hopefully we can find some fish, because if not, I'm gonna be hungry. Cedar has got a little bit of water in his pack, and then he's carrying dog food, and then of course the rest of his food is in my pack. Pretty early season, there's still snow on the trail, and I don't have my hiking boots. I've just got my elk hide moccasins. So we got about a 30 or 40 mile loop that we're doing over the next week, and hopefully I don't regret it. Right. My plan is to go up here. There's a lake about 7 miles in, and I want to go up there. I want to catch 6 decent sized trout, and I want to smoke them, and so that they're preserved. And then I want to go hike probably another 10 miles. There's a basin back here that I've never been to, and I want to check it out, but it looks like it'd be really nice for bears, to find bears in. And so if I can catch enough trout to feed myself for a few days, I'll go and just kind of hang out up there and just kind of look for bears and see what else is up there. Made it to the top of the first big ridge. Cedar's up here taking in the view. Early in the spring, there's a couple of little wildflowers that pop up. First thing, you got glacier lilies, and then these little guys right here, and for the life of me, I cannot remember what they're called, but I'll put a little thing down there that tells you. But they have these little tubers on them that are actually really good. Just kind of clean the dirt off of them. But it kind of tastes kind of like a water chestnut, maybe. These tubers are only maybe 1 to 3 inches down, and the glacier lilies have little tubers or corms or something on them as well, but they're typically much farther underground. Not that easy to get to, but you can eat the flowers. They don't taste as good as the other ones. Kind of like a honeysuckle. So we've gained enough elevation now that the trail is completely buried under about 6 feet of snow. It goes down, there's a pretty steep little face right here. It goes down at switchbacks, and then gets over to this ridge right here. There's a big kind of rocky knob here that it's supposed to bypass, but this is where boots would come in handy, because the soles are rigid and you can cut into the slope, but with these moccasins I can't cut into them, and so I have to dig my heels in so that I don't go sliding down the slope here. So we're gonna give it a try and see how it works out. I'll put the GoPro on my head. I think it's the safest thing to do is just gonna go up and over this knob down the ridge on the other side. That's too sketchy. So follow this ridge up to that peak and then go to the right. There's a little saddle in there. That is where I'd planned on going, but there's so much snow up here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get there. You know, I knew there was going to be snow, but I wasn't expecting this much snow. I mean, it is just, there's a bunch of snow. So I don't know, we'll get up there to the saddle and just check it out and see what it looks like. I'm hoping I can get there because that's really fish. I mean, I hear ground squirrels around, but really the source of food I was counting on is fish. So if we can't get to the lakes, then might have to share some of Caesar's dog food. Still got probably another mile or so before the descent to the lake starts. Cedar, here, come here, come here. Whew. Ready to get too close to that edge and start sliding. My destination is on the other side of this next ridge here. So we'll head that way and see what it looks like. See if we can get to it. What do you think, buddy? What do you think? He likes it. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I was not prepared for this much snow up here. Anyway, I have considered turning around and just packing it in, but I think I'm gonna push through and just see where we get to tonight. See if we can get to the lake, and if not, we'll just stay up here and continue on tomorrow. But it's good lesson. Next to the lake on this chain here, and it's almost all the way iced up. There's an outlet, or the inlet is open, and the outlet is open, and then there's just a small band on the other side. Well, so much for that 0% chance of precip that the weatherman was calling for. Oh no, oh my God, it is a solid flippin' block of ice. Look at that, the whole thing is frozen. That is awesome. Dang it. I should have known better than this. There's not even an opening. I mean, there's one tiny little opening way down at the end where the outlet is. Okay. It's decision time. So that lake, that is where I was planning on going. That is where I was planning on getting my dinner from. The next lake that might be open is 20 miles from here. Maybe not that far, maybe 15 miles. It's lower elevation, and it's kind of a southerly aspect, so I'm pretty sure that one will be open. But I am not getting to that today. We're gonna have to find a place to hunker down up here tonight. I really don't want to be on this ridge in case a storm comes in. They can get pretty gnarly in this country. I don't know. I'm just going to keep hiking until I find either a really nice tree well or somewhere just to hunker in, because it's starting to kind of drizzle a little bit right now, and we don't got long till dark. So there's a nice somewhat level spot under here where I could clear some snow out and have a nice overhang and be protected, but man, that rock just makes me nervous. Like I don't think I could sleep underneath that thing, just from thinking about it smashing me. But there's other potentials around here. I'm gonna try to find a rock overhang that's not like, that's just a little sketchy. I don't like that. So right about now is when you realize the sun's setting and you are nowhere near where you want to be, and you're gonna have to spend the night in the woods. And that is when people panic. And when people panic, they start to run. They start to hike super fast because they want to get somewhere that is not where they're at right now. And that's when they fall, they hurt themselves. It would be so easy to just not pay attention to what's going on, be hiking across here, slip and fall and stick a stob through your leg. There's deadfall everywhere. And when these branches from these spurs break off, a lot of times they can be very sharp. And if you fell on one of those out here, I mean, I'm miles from anywhere. You know, you could get hypothermia and freeze to death. So, you know, just keep your head. You just need to realize that you're okay right now, and you will be okay as long as you stay healthy. You just need to find a spot that's as protected as you can find it, and a good load of firewood is always a good thing. And just spend the night in the woods. No biggie. Beautiful. So I think the ridge I want to be on is over there. I went around, I completely skirted around this big knob here, because the other side, the north side, that's where the trail is over there, but it's so steep and just snow covered that it would have been, there's no way I would have had to turn around before going that way, because there's no way I could have maintained my footing on that. So figured I'd try to skirt around the south side of it, and we're starting to get into some more open country, but it's just rocky and steep. So I'm gonna try to pick my way back down to this ridge where I'm supposed to be. See if we can't find a place. If I can get to that ridge over there, that ridge will take us down and hook me back into the trail where I'm supposed to be. Probably not gonna get there before nightfall. And there's some nasty, gnarly country between here and there. That's what I'm talking about. So we've still got about 2 hours before dark. And it's really tempting to keep hiking and see what's next, because this is not ideal. But if you do that, you run the risk of it being dark and you still don't have a good spot or any spot at all. And so I'm just looking for somewhere that we can make a stand for the night. Doesn't have to be perfect. Do need some protection though, a little shelter, a little bit of shelter. All right, guys, I think this is it. It's coming down a ridge here, trying to get over to this other ridge that'll eventually tie into the trail, and found what looks to be a subalpine fir or something right here, old dead tree with the bark sloughing off of it. I'm gonna use this as a shelter. I don't know if it's gonna rain tonight or not, but the last thing I want is to be out here and be hovering around freezing and have a wet, just be wet. But anyway, I'm gonna we got about an hour and a half or so till dark. I'm gonna put this camera on a tripod and get to work. A lot of work to be done before then. All this is gonna make sense in a minute, in a little bit. So you might be thinking this is a lot of work to go through to be a little more comfortable, but this bough bed doesn't, well, maybe has a little bit to do with comfort, but mainly it's insulation. The ground is sopping wet from all this snow melt, and I need to get myself off of that because I don't have any kind of sleeping pad or anything, and if I were to lay directly on the ground, it would just suck the body heat right out of me. He's so hungry. Oh, he's walked so far today. He had such a big hike. All right, so I was at the outdoor store, probably last year, and saw this thing. It's an SOL escape bivvy, and it was 60 bucks. I saw that price tag on it. I was like, man, that's a lot of money for like just a bag, basically is what it is, a sack, like a garbage bag. But I bought it and wanted to test it out, so that's what we're gonna do here tonight. I got this, and I don't know if it's waterproof or not. It looks like it's some sort of like foil backed Tyvek or something. And then I've got two quilts. I've got one for me and one for Cedar, and I'll just find a place like under here somewhere where Cedar can kind of tuck into it. But I'll put my quilt inside this bivvy and just try it out. See if this thing's worth 60 bucks or not. It was snowing earlier today, and kind of snow and rain mixed, but not real hard. So hopefully that moves out. So that stuff, that's all the clothes I bought. That I'll wear that tonight. My pack I'll just stick under here. All right, so I've got a ferro rod in here, but I also have a lighter in my pocket, so I'm just going to use the lighter. Oh, feels amazing. Well, today did not go as planned. I hadn't planned on spending the night on the side of a mountain under a tree tonight, but it's the way it happened, so that's what we're doing. These socks are wet. My pants are wet, but I think pants should dry out. I don't know about the socks. This fire goes out, I'll take these rocks and I'll just set my shoes on top of them as long as they're not too hot. Same with the socks, and hopefully drive some of this moisture off tonight. Lay down. See, lay down. Lay down. Lay down. Oh. All right. Well, we're all tucked into the shelter for the night. It's pretty comfortable. Cedar doesn't waller around too much. You gonna waller around? Anyway, I'll see y'all in the morning. Well, we will. Hopefully. Maybe we won't fall off the side of the mountain. Pretty steep down there. Morning. Well, it didn't rain last night. Or snow. Huh, good. Ugh. And we didn't roll off the hill. That's a bonus. They're completely dry this morning. That's pretty nice. So I get to have dry feet for a little while anyway. My socks dried out all the way last night. Have a little coffee to start the day off. A little Mount Hagen instant freeze dried. So I went and had a look at this face over here, and it's pretty rough. I'm afraid I'm going to end up twisting a knee or something if I try to get over there. And so I'm by myself way back in the middle of nowhere. And then a twisted knee or a busted ankle or something like that is not something I need. So I think what we're going to end up doing is just going straight down this ridge. And there's a series of meadows down here. I've never been into any of this country down in here, so I don't really have any idea what to expect. But it's all cross country. There's no trail. But it would probably 5 miles. And then there should be a trail down in the bottom here somewhere. But between here and there, there's nothing. So I think we're going to have to abandon the original plan. It's just not going to work. It's just too much snow. But there is the potential to find a bear down in this bottom here. This is these meadows down in here look like good spots for them. If we don't get into something, I'll probably end up cutting the trip short. Without any food. Like I could do 7 days without food, but I don't really want to. It's not an adventure if everything goes exactly the way that you plan. Okay, there you go. There you go. You ready? Let's go. Not that way, this way. Come on. My truck is parked on the other side of that big peak right there, miles and miles away. So I see a bear, chocolate bear down here, about 1,000 yards. It's really not all that far, but there's some pretty rough country between me and him. Looks like a lone bear and looks like a pretty good sized bear. So if I can get over there without killing myself, we'll see if we can get close. Sit. Stay. Alright, this bear should be just on this opposite face, no more than 200 yards away somewhere. Just gotta relocate him now. Alright, I got eyes on him again. He's across this creek, kind of up on this slope here. He's kind of somewhat feeding down. I'm hoping he feeds down to the creek. If he does that, then we got a chance. So I got to 100 yards of him, and he just went into the timber right there. That's just a small little patch of timber. I think if I get over to the other side here, I should be able to look back across and just kind of keep an eye on it for when he comes out. Cedar's growling and Cedar just saw the bear. No. No. I have no idea how this is gonna play out. So I'm gonna leave Cedar here. I'm gonna tie him to my bag and hopefully tell him to stay, and hopefully he'll stay. No. And I'm gonna try to ease over there and intercept this bear. Not as big as I thought. Cedar and I are gonna have a talk. That bear was just right there. He was 30 yards. Dang it. What are you doing? You are a bad dog. Ah, well. He's actually a pretty good dog. I should have tied him where he couldn't see the bear. Oh well. Still fun. I got within bow range of him. Just kind of caught me out on that snow field and didn't have an arrow. That's the way it goes sometimes. Cedar, we could have been eating bear chops, but no. Had to open your mouth. Just scout around here, see if we can find somewhere to bed down tonight. It's being in this basin, you can't really tell what the weather's doing, but it's definitely getting overcast, and I just felt a little drop of rain, so I was thinking about just laying out on the slope, but I don't think I want to do that. At least get in here and get some, oh, there's some yew, some Pacific yew. This has some potential. Welcome to the bear den. There's a little bee that keeps buzzing around here. I think it might have a nest in there. Alright, I'm gonna grab some boughs, put some boughs down on there, and then I'm gonna take a nap because I am whipped. Oh my God, that is luxurious. That is way better than last night's. That bee is very persistent. So I was just laying here and Cedar perked up, put his nose up in the wind. And I looked down there and there's a bear down here just below us. The wind's just boosting up this hill. He knew he was down there. Good size one. I don't think my leg could handle going down there and back up today. I'll just keep an eye on him and maybe try him in the morning when we're already headed down that way. This is infinitely better than last night's camp. You actually move around a little bit without feeling like you're gonna slide off the mountain. If I'd have had an arrow knocked, I could have got a shot at that bear. And then saw another one over here that looked like a bigger bear. Hard to find a flat spot out here to sit your butt. So we'll hang out here a little bit in the morning and see if anything pops out, and if not, we'll just probably have to take the bottom out, which is not ideal because it's just choked with all this stuff, mountain maple and alder, and it's just nasty walking. So the sun is just now setting. We still got a little bit of daylight left, but I'm whipped. It's probably 8 o'clock and I didn't sleep hardly any at all last night. There you go, buddy. Oh, that's gonna be so nice. That's gonna be so nice. Last night your butt was in my face and you farted on me. Yeah, it's stinky. Morning. Oh. So last night was pretty quiet. It was a lot warmer in this camp than it was last night up on top of the mountain there. And a lot more comfortable. Oh yeah. Even though Cedar did waller around a little bit, kind of pushed me out towards the outside. But anyway, I'm gonna go have some coffee. All right, how about? Oh man. Cedar's happy. Are you a happy dog? You look like a happy dog to me. Beautiful morning and spot. Can't hear any people, no traffic. Very few airplanes. Got a little trickle of a stream coming down just right here. Can get water from, and then there's the big stream coming down over here. That's a pretty good little walk though. Be a wee bit too hot. I wish that everyone could come out and experience these types of areas and being surrounded by nothing but the sounds of nature. I think people would have a much deeper appreciation for it. There you go. Let's go. Let's go. We're just gonna head down the drainage, kind of take it slow and easy, and just see where we get to. Could potentially make it all the way back to the truck tonight, or if the creek looks good, like there might be some fish in there, maybe we'll short stop and stay another night. And of course, we could always bump into a bear, which I'm gonna be on a keen lookout for. Right now is about the time when I saw that one yesterday. Welcome to the Pacific Northwest. This is the stuff that I was dreading having to go through. And I don't know, it could be miles. It could be miles of this. I'm hoping it's not, but there's a good chance that it is. So there is a bear right in the bottom of the drainage. Not sure what the wind's gonna do, but he is right in my path. I'm gonna try to get down here below these big rocks here, tie cedar, see if I can't get close to him. I think he must have smelled me. The wind was coming right down the drainage, but I had no other approach. So, I mean, he could be just right here in the brush, but I mean, he could be right there and I wouldn't see him. Dang it.
Oh, that was so cool. I don't know if you can see them on the camera or not, but I think I'm almost positive this is the same bear that I saw from up there last night. Same drainage right down at the bottom of it. Back at it, heading down. It's been so steep and thick that I just couldn't get out of the bottom, had to stay in there. Bottoms generally are a very poor travel corridor just because of all the crap you saw me going through. But I couldn't get out, but I think I can get up this, slope and get onto a ridge, which should be easier going. Oh man, so finally got out of that hellhole of a bottom and got up on this hillside, and there was a wildfire in here some time ago. But these trees that I'm surrounded by, these are massive cedars. These things are probably 8-9 foot diameter. But this one here is all hollowed out and would make a super cool shelter if I was gonna stay on this hillside. Look at this, I mean, look at that. You could hollow out a spot in there, be cozy. The first real book that I ever read as a kid was My Side of the Mountain. And so those of you who've read that book, you'll get the reference. You can't really see it for the timber, but way up the top there is where we came from. And finally made it to the top of the main ridge that's gonna, should anyway, put me down onto another trail. Cedar seems to be doing good. There's a couple of spots, you know, in some of that steep stuff where I had to kind of help him over logs and stuff. But for the most part, he's doing good. I just thought that creek bottom was hell. So this stuff that I'm walking through goes by several different names: ceanothus, buckbrush, snowbrush, but I just call it a real pain in the ass. Oh my God, we have made it to the trail. Look at this glorious patch of dirt here that leads out of this hellhole. Oh, yeah. If somebody came and offered me $5 to walk down that thing again, I'd have to turn them down. All right, guys, I got a little challenge for you. We're gonna do something that I've never done before, and I don't know quite what to call it yet. I'm thinking woods-wise, but maybe somebody out there can come up with a better name than that. So the idea here is I'm gonna show you some images, some video, or something like that, or maybe I'll play back a sound, and I want you guys to identify what's going on. So I'm in a cedar grove here in the Pacific Northwest, and I've got this plant that is all in the understory here. The first person to identify this plant correctly and give me 2 commonly accepted uses for this plant. That could be edible, medicinal, structural, something like that. First person to ID it, give me 2 uses. I'll give you a shout out the next time I do this, which is probably gonna be in the next adventure style video that I do. So here you have it. This plant is covered with spines and it's segmented. It's got these big broad leaves on it that are serrated around the edges. the flowers come off the top in this spike. And this is a very interesting and a very useful plant. So, good luck. So we are approaching a gorgeous creek. We'll go ahead and just take the packs off, let Cedar cool down a little bit, let him get in the water. Well, it looks like there should be a trout in there. Right there along that seam, or maybe in that eddy over there on the other side. Elk caddis, can't go wrong with that. Heck yes. Look at that. Tiny little guy, we'll let him go. These tiny little cutthroats, I'd have to have a dozen of them to make a meal, and that's going to be way over the bag limit, I believe, or the creel limit. So we're just going to let them go. Fish there. So I had one pretty nice fish over in this eddy on the other side. It came and rolled on it twice, but I couldn't, because of that fast water through the middle, I couldn't get a good drift through there. At least we caught some fish. Cedar's not impressed. So there's a log going across this creek that I can cross, but I don't know if Cedar can cross it. And the water is really swift, so I don't want his pack on him just in case he does get swept down. I don't want him to get hung up, so I'll just put it on him when we get to the other side. Come on, buddy. Cold water in it. All right, guys, I think that might wrap it for this video. Still got a long walk back to the truck, but there's not really a lot to do along the way. It's just trail and road. So unless something happens, this is it. But you know, this adventure did not go as planned. Didn't even go close to what I had planned, but that's all right. Got to see some new country. Got to explore a ridge that I will never go back to. And saw some bears, got close to a bear, caught some fish, slept under a log. All in all, I'd say that's a good time. Get off the couch, go explore something, get your hands dirty, and we'll see you on the next one.